Cooking with Larry. Yeah.
Today, what are we doing today? Oh, it's supposedly a meatloaf challenge. And all the great cooks in this town, I put the challenge out, and guess what? There was only one person who accepted the challenge. Well, two people, but one, ran into an emergency, so he couldn't get here. But the only other person we have is my wonderful friend, Lee Walker, who, look at how beautiful she is. Lee Walker, who cooks with me all the time. So, we are going to proceed and show you how we put this meatloaf together. I'll put mine together, she will put hers together. Shall I say that you're a vegetarian? Yes. Lee's a vegetarian, so she's going to make meatloaf as a vegetarian. And I think it'll be just fine. Okay?
Really?
It's a challenge that went out, and we're going to do our best to enjoy each other. Okay. First of all, this here is my mise en place. We have the chopped meat. Usually I go like 80, 20. I try not to get any less fat than that. Number two, we have the secret ingredient, Quaker oats, onions. We have ketchup, a couple of eggs, garlic, salt, pepper, and I have in here some thyme and parsley. It's a very simple recipe. Should have no problems making it.
Yes, I'm making meatloaf, and I'm using 8515 ground beef, organic, field grown. And it's called Tuscan meatloaf. So mine's cooked on top of the stove, and I've done some prep, and I'm going to mix everything into this, most of everything into the meat. And I've done, I've got breadcrumbs mixed with milk. I need a little more milk, which I brought. And what else is going to go in this is the milk and the bread, the onion, salt, pepper, oops, that's the cheese, sorry, garlic, and I need some salt, Larry, if you could share this with me.
I shouldn't.
Could you share some pepper?
I shouldn't say. Oh my God! You want pepper also?
I want pepper too.
Do you want me to make it for you, possibly?
Yeah, you can be my sous chef.
Here's fine pepper. There you go.
Here's some pepper.
Okay.
It's not fine, it's coarse.
It's coarse pepper. Okay.
Here.
I know it's fine in its quality.
So let me
Not
see.
in its cut. In its quality.
What else I have to put in here? Garlic, cheese, mixed thoroughly by hand. So the other thing I need to do right now is an egg yolk.
By the way, these recipes will be online, or you can come pick them up at the OCC anytime you'd like. Okay? If you think her meatloaf, well, we'll see who wins today.
And who are the judges?
Our judges, Phyllis Rambo, Bob Heiberg, and Nancy Bowen. They're all very good. I would say they're honest. Let's put it that way.
Lightly beaten egg yolk.
And
They're honest?
They're honest. And I've spent a lot of money with them. So.
Right. But I'll say they like me better.
Well, there's a possibility that they do like me better. Yes, that's true. So.
Maybe.
Really isn't true. Too much we can do about that.
All right, now I'm mixing this, and what I have to do is talk Larry into lighting the oven for me.
The oven or the stove?
The stove, I mean, excuse me.
So
stove.
well, you can't light the stove?
Well, my hands are covered with goo.
So you're gonna forfeit this competition?
No,
If you can't light the stove, you should forfeit.
I think I could talk maybe Robert into lighting the
Which
stove.
one do you want? You want the center one, the outside ones? Which one do you want?
A large, the middle one.
Okay.
Somewhere where I'll be right in the way when you need to put yours in
Well,
the
that's what
oven.
I'm afraid of.
Okay, so I don't know how
This
much.
thing's not good. How about I give you this far one, this one in the far end?
Shape the meat into a firm round ball. And then, I'm reading obviously. And roll this into a firm round ball. A salami-like loaf, about 2.5 inches thick. So what it has to do is fit in this Dutch oven. Tap with palm to drive out any air bubbles. And now what we have to do is roll it in breadcrumbs.
Wow. See, I have my work cut out for me.
Are you worried, Larry?
No, I'm not.
Are you sure?
No. Have you ever seen me worried in the kitchen?
No, and I'm not worried either. And now I'm going to heat the butter that's in my Dutch oven.
It's on the far right hand one.
And after that, I will brown this in the pan.
Okay, here we go. And mine is just as simple. It's just this is your standard Quaker Oats classic recipe. And Quaker Oats, the meat. We have some onions here. Oh, this is great. And we did this all, it took all of about 15 minutes to prepare all this, this mise en place, which, if you don't know what mise en place is, I mean, anybody took one of my classes will know that it means everything in its place. And we have some ketchup, of course, Heinz. Yeah. Oh yes. I try not to use products that you can't find. You know, in fact, any product that I cook with, you should be able to find it in the local stores. Ooh. 2 eggs. If you'll notice, I've used, I didn't stick exactly to the recipe. I've been doing this for a while, so I've just changed a few things over the years.
What did you change, Larry?
It calls for 1 egg versus 2. I put 2 eggs in, so I like it to bind a little better. Okay. And garlic, of course, and it calls for like, what does it call for as far as 2 cloves of garlic? I think I've used 3. Any of my recipes, I always use more garlic. I kind of like the flavor of it. And salt and pepper. Oh, I forgot. Main ingredient, Worcestershire sauce. Worcestershire sauce. You know, I noticed that whenever you get a European chef and you watch one of his programs, they don't call it Worcestershire sauce. I don't know, maybe it's too hard for them to pronounce. They call it Lee and Perrins. You know, oh, put some Lee and Perrins in. Okay. So we did that, and then we're going to do a little bit of, well, like everybody knows, I'm a little bit of a salt person. Okay. And pepper. Yeah. And it doesn't call for this, but I always put some thyme and parsley in out of my garden. And I asked my wife, can I have some of the time out of the garden, and she says anything if it'll beat Lee. You know?
I don't think that's true. She wants me to win.
The greatest tool in the kitchen are your hands. Okay? So let's just mix it all together. Just make sure that everything is well mixed together or well combined. I don't like to over mix it because I like the meat to stay kind of tender. So here we go. Okay, I'm gonna wash my hands a second.
Oh, if it's back to me, I will confess that I forgot to put the prosciutto in, so I have remixed the roll while I'm waiting for the Dutch oven to create a browning. And I'm going to take this over and brown, and later I will be making a wine sauce. So this is going over to brown.
Did you make a mistake, Lee?
I always make mistakes.
Oh no! I don't know. I don't know if we should allow you to continue here.
Well, I can finish my meatloaf, may I?
Okay. This is a meatloaf pan that my friend Jim Foster, who was supposed to be the other contestant here, told me about. He says you can use this because you can lift the whole thing out later, which is a great idea, you know.
The whole thing out of what?
Out of the pan, so you don't have a problem. Okay, make sure there's no air in it. Okay, this all goes in the sink. I'm going to place the meatloaf in the oven. It's supposed to cook 50 to 55 minutes at 350. The oven is at 350. I just checked the temperature, and it should cook until the meatloaf is about 160 degrees Fahrenheit internally. So we will always check that.
Did you bring your thermometer?
Yes, I did bring my thermometer, and I'm going to set my timer. How's that? Ooh.
Browning on all sides, if possible.
Now I can go and have a cup of coffee while it is cooking. And
Are you from New York?
Yes.
Coffee?
Coffee from New York. And
I'm going to add
you're not burning this now.
4 ounces of tomato paste to a mixture here of water and wild mushrooms that I actually soaked at home and chopped. So let me go check my meat. You checking my meat?
I'm just making sure that, you know, that we don't burn the place down, you know?
Well, it's getting a little bit crisp on the outside, which I like.
Very good. Yes, meatloaf should be a little crisp on the outside. I like that whole situation.
So in here are wild mushrooms. I did put some
I lit the
domestic mushrooms in there as well.
Yeah, I lit the one on the left side.
Thank you. I'm just going to heat this a little bit and get my spatula to check the browning. I'll be right back, Robert. And I think I'm just going to turn heat to medium-low, add it's really awkward not being in my own kitchen.
Did you say awkward not being in your own kitchen?
Yeah, I have to walk so far. Oh,
You
know
poor
what?
child. You poor child. Oh my God. I can't believe it's falling apart on me.
Are we doing little squares like somebody recommended?
Nah, we'll just do it.
Who cares?
Do whatever we want.
Anyway.
Ah,
The last thing I want to do is win.
oh, I'm sorry.
The absolute last thing I want to do is win this
Is what?
contest.
No, you gotta win it. Come on.
Yeah, you gotta make the meatloaf for
Okay.
thousands.
No, you're gonna be making the meatloaf.
No. No.
Okay. I'm putting this over here. Oh, does it matter where I put it?
Gosh.
I think you're number 2.
I'm 2.
Yeah.
2. Okay. And
Are we filming?
Yes.
you want to cut it out of here
Certainly
instead
are.
of on the dish, lady?
No, I got your nice fillet knife.
Give me my knife. Give me my knife. Give me my knife back.
Here, let me go get your chef's knife.
Yeah, come here. Put it on here. I don't believe her. My
I'm
beautiful.
not putting my
That's
thing
my
on it.
boning knife. Oh, was it hot? Was it hot?
Could you move it?
Which one do you want me to cut up here?
Yeah. Are you cutting it for me?
You want to cut up
With the knife that was on your meatloaf? Larry,
Don't worry about it. They're not going to tell.
you gonna eat all
No
that?
one, no one will see.
They're going to eat it?
Do you like meatloaf,
Oh, yeah.
Robert? Oh, good.
You cut the dish. What is this?
Looks a little dense, doesn't it?
Yeah, this is-
Well, yours is a little runny, so
So
there
let's,
we go.
you know, they're going to be able to, oh my God, this thing is hot. You got sauce? Oh.
Wild mushroom sauce, Larry.
Oh,
Wild mushroom sauce.
okay.
It's not gonna get, actually, it's not mushrooms, it's chanterelles.
What's that mean?
Chanterelles.
And chanterelles?
Well, just chanterelles.
Boy, I hope you win.
All right, what do we
Because I
do?
want to see you spend 3 days making this.
This is certainly very attractive. There's a text. Bob is surgically going after it.
Yeah, I gotta use it.
Texture to
I
this
wish I had a knife to
A knife?
cut this
Use a knife
properly
on
to the right size.
If you need a knife and meatloaf, it's a little bit overdone.
Yeah, if you need a knife, that's the loser. Okay, before I fill up on this one, I better try the other one. Oh, okay.
Yes, because you don't know what's.
Look at how lovely these were on the doily, such presentation. Nothing
What
but
a
the
nice
finest
cut
stuff.
to have the door.
This, because they're numbered.
Yeah.
All right, so now I can.
Tastes totally different. Yeah.
You have to choose by number. There's a number under each dish.
Oh, there is?
Or we can say one with the sauce and one without the sauce. Yeah, that would be pretty easy. They look totally different. Neither one of them tastes like the traditional meatloaf that I'm used to.
Well, that's because they're better than the traditional
Well,
meatloaf.
you never had my meatloaf, so you're not sure if it's better.
Number 2. 1.
Did you
I have to
any
say-
idea
It
that I
was
would
a
win?
unanimous decision.
Good.
Sauce is,
better than you.
the sauce is wonderful on this one, number 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the meat was okay, but you really couldn't taste meat. This one had a lot of flavor as you ate it. I mean, consumed it, but I mean, it had a lot of flavor. The sauce on this is excellent. We're wondering about the sauce on that one.
Yeah, that's
There is
what,
no sauce on that one. It is just it
that's
plays
because
on
the
its
chef
own
left
wonderful
the
taste.
chef left
You
it
know?
home.
You know, the spices, the love that went into the meatloaf, you know, the just the years of experience that went into the meatloaf.
We thought this was a prettier presentation.
Does
Yes.
gagging
Yeah.
come out? Does gagging sound
No.
good on the film?
Yeah, gagging.
It was tough.
Again?
Yes.
Oh.
I have been cooking with Lee for years now, and she is the most fun in the kitchen that you could possibly have. And of all the great cooks in here that said they were gonna come in and they were gonna do their meatloaf, she's the only one that accepted the challenge. So, a lot for Lee. She's wonderful.
So that's yours.
Oh, you didn't announce the winner?
We know it's number 2, but
Number 2 is Larry. we had a great time doing it. you know?
Larry's always in.
Cooking with Larry.